Hello students, under the topic job sequencing, here we have the processing of n jobs on 3 machines. Already we have seen the processing of n jobs on 2 machines. Now we are going to learn the processing of n jobs on 3 machines. Here we have a problem. The question is, find the sequence that minimizes the total elapsed time required to complete the following tasks on the machines in the order 1, 2, 3. Find also the minimum total elapsed time in hours and the ideal time of the machines. So here, if you see, we have questions like to find the sequence of the given jobs and then to find the total elapsed time, and then we have to find the ideal time of all the missions given. Now here we have 3 missions, so we have to find the ideal time of these 3 missions. So that is the question. So this is a 3 mission problem. The method to solve this problem is that this 3 mission problem has to be converted to a 2 mission problem. And this can be done only if one of the 2 conditions are satisfied. What are the two conditions I have written here? So the condition 1 is the minimum processing time of the mission M1 should be greater than or equal to maximum processing time of the mission M2. So this condition has to be satisfied, or else. So if not this condition has to be satisfied. That is, the minimum processing time of mission 3 should be either greater or equal to maximum processing time of mission 2. We will consider this problem and we will understand this concept. Now if you see here, in this problem, what is the minimum processing time of mission 1? So if these are the processing times. So if we check all this processing time, the minimum processing time of mission 1 is 3. So that we will just make a note here. So the minimum processing time of mission 1 is 3. We will check out for the maximum processing time of mission 2. So when we see the maximum processing time of mission 2, of all this processing time, the maximum is 5. So 5 is the maximum processing time of mission 2. So we will just make a note of it here. So if you see, is 3 greater than or equal to 5? No. So this condition is not satisfied here for this particular problem. So if this is not satisfied, we should check whether the next condition is satisfied or not. So what is the minimum processing time of the mission 3? So for M3, the minimum processing time, if we check, out of all this, 5 is the minimum processing time. So let's just make a note of this. And what is the maximum processing time of mission 2? Already we checked it out and we found that it was 5. So we see that the minimum processing time of M3 is equal to maximum processing time of M2. So it has to be either greater or equal to. So this condition is satisfied. Because they are equal, this condition is satisfied. And if any one of this condition is satisfied, then this 3 mission problem can be converted to a 2 mission problem, and it can be solved as how we solve the 2 mission problem. That is, to find the sequence, we have to convert this 3 mission problem to a 2 mission problem. So the method to convert a 3 mission problem to a 2 mission problem is that we have to introduce 2 fictitious missions H and K in such a way that the processing times of H will be the addition of the first 2 mission. That is, H will be equal to M1 plus M2. And the processing time of K, the next fictitious mission K, will be M2 plus M3. So I will show you that now. So for converting, we introduce 2 fictitious mission H and K such that H is equal to M1 plus M2 and K is equal to M2 plus M3. So what we have to do, we have to draw a new tabular column where we have to write all the tasks and we have to write the mission H. How are we going to write the processing time for this mission H? we have to add the processing time of M1 and M2 for the corresponding jobs, and we have to write here. So now the processing time of H for the job A will be, you see here, this M1 and M2 we have. So we have 3 here and we have 4 here. So add these two. 3 plus 4, that is 7. So that we have to write here. Now for B, we have to add these two. So we have to add 8 plus 3. So that will be 11. So we have to write that here. So for C, it will be 7 plus 2. So that will be 9. So we have to write that 9 here. Next for D, it is 4 plus 5, which is 9 again. So 9 here. And for E, it is 9 plus 1. So it will be 10. And for F, it is 8 plus 4, so that will be 12, and that we have to write here. So 12. And finally for G, it is 7 plus 3, which will be 10. So we have found all the processing time for mission H. Next, in a similar manner, we have to find all the processing time for K, for which we have to add mission 2 and mission 3. So 4 plus 6, which will be 10. So we have to write here 10. Then for B, it is 3 plus 7. So again 10 here. And for C, 2 plus 5. So it will be 7. And then for D, it is 5 plus 11, which is 16. We have to write that 16 here. Then for E, it is 1 plus 5. And so that is 6. We have to write the 6 here. And for F, it will be 4 plus 6, which is 10, and so write that 10 here. And finally for G, it is 3 plus 12, and so 15, which we have to write here. So now we have to find the job sequence, for which we have to draw the cells to write the jobs. So here we have jobs from A to G. So 7 boxes we need. So I have drawn the 7 boxes. And from left to right, I have written mission H, and from right to left I have written mission K. So now first step is we have to look out for the minimum processing time. So out of all these values, which value is the minimum value? We see that 6 is the minimum value. And for which job we have 6? It is for job E. The processing time is 6. Across which mission it is? With respect to the mission K. So job E has to be written under K. So where do we have mission K? It is over here. So for mission K, the first job that we have to write here is E. Okay. So we are done with the job E under K. So after finishing that job, we have to just strike this. Okay. Next, we have to look out for the least element out of all the remaining processing time. So if you check, this 7 is the least, and we also observe that there is another 7, and we see that these two 7s are in 2 different missions. So we will not have any tie in this case, because if it appears in the same mission, then we call it as tie. But they are in 2 different missions, so easily we can sort it out, because this 7 is in mission H. So job A has to be written under mission H. So mission H is over here. So job A we have to write here. So after writing that, we have to just give a strike for it. And then this 7 has appeared in mission K, and the corresponding job is C. So job C we have to write over here under mission K. So after writing, we shall strike this off. After striking out, we have to look out for the next least element out of all the remaining processing times. So if we see, the next least element is 9. So now we have to check out in which mission we have this 9, in mission H, and the corresponding job is D. So mission H is over here, and this job D we have to write here under mission H, and we have to strike off this job. Now the left out is these elements. So out of these elements, which is the least element we have to check out. So the least processing time is 10, but there are 3 10s. So now we have 3 10s here, out of which 2 tens are from the same mission and another 10 is from a different mission. So there is a tie in this mission K. So first we will sort out the mission which doesn't have a tie. So this 10, which is the least element, is corresponding to the job G and the mission is H. So job G has to be written under H and this job has to be striken off. And then the left out is these 2 tens which are in tie in mission K. So what we have to do in that case is we have to check out for the processing time of these jobs in the other mission. For example, for this 10, the job in the other, the processing time in mission H is 11 and for this it is 12. So out of these two values, which is the least? 11 is the least. So this 10 has to be written first and it is in mission K. So from this side we have to write and the job is B. So first we have to write B over here and strike off this B, and after that we have to, and the left out is this F which is corresponding to this 10 and obviously that has to come over here. Dear students, we can also do it in the other way. We can also check out for the maximum value from the other missions. In that case, B will be here and F will be here. So we will be having two sequences for this particular problem. But it doesn't make an issue. When you solve the problem further, anyway the total elapsed time will surely remain the same, and also the ideal time. You can also try out with the other sequence which will be A, D, G, B, F, C, E. That will be the other sequence. You can also try out the problem with that sequence and check out for the answer. So now let us solve the problem by considering this sequence. So to find the total elapsed time, we have to consider this table of column where we have written job first and then mission 1, mission 2, mission 3 and time in and time out for each of the missions. Now the job column has to be filled in this order. That is, we have found the job sequence, right? Considering this sequence in this order, we have to fill out this job column. So the first job is A and then we have a D and then we have G and then F and then B and then C, and at last we have the job E. So in this order I have filled this column A, D, G, F, B, C and E. So now we shall continue the problem with this. And students, for convenience, what I am going to do, I am going to write the processing time of mission A over here. For example, processing time of A, mission 1. So how that is these values. These are the processing times given in the question. So now these for mission 1, these are all the processing time. So in this order, I am going to write the processing time over here. So for example, for A, the processing time is 3. So I will write 3 here. And then for D, the processing time in mission 1 is 4. So I am writing 4 here. For G, it is 7. So 7. For F, it is 8. So 8. And then for B, it is 8 again. So 8. For C, it is 7. And for E, it is 9. You need not do this step. I am doing this only for convenience. You can also check from the question and do the problem. Okay, this step is not needed. But for just convenience, I have done this. Okay, we shall proceed the problem now. So always when the mission, in mission 1, when the first job enters, the time in will be 0. And then we have to add the processing time of A to 0 to find time out of the job A. So plus the processing time of job A under mission 1 is 3. So 0 plus 3 will be 3. And then D will enter in this time. That is when A comes out. After that D will enter. So this 3 will come here. So 3. Plus the processing time of 4 will give the timeout for D. So plus 3 plus 4 we have to do. So it will be 7. So after that G will enter only in this time. So that 7 will come here. Plus the processing time of G under mission 1. So that is 7. So when we add this, it becomes 14. and then F will enter at this time. So 14 will come here. So now we have to add this 8 along with 14. So it will become 22. So then next B will enter at this time. So 22. Then the processing time of B under mission 1 is 8. So when we add that 8, we get 30. Then C will enter at 30. And when we add the processing time of C under mission 1, its time out is 37. E will enter at this time. So it will enter at 37. And when its processing time is added with it, it comes out at 46. I'm telling you once again, this column is not needed. I have just written it because every time I have to take this paper and I have to look out for it. So for that reason, I have included this. So you can just omit this column. Similarly, I'm going to write like this for mission B, mission 2 also for my convenience. So I have taken the processing times for mission 2 for these jobs. I have taken and written here. So these values according to A, D. So for A it is 4, for D it is 5. So accordingly I have taken and I have written this column here for my convenience. You may take it and check every time when you do. Okay. Now the time in for A in mission 2. Okay, this is mission 2. We have to write the time in for A. What will be time in for A in mission 2? When does it finish the job in mission 1? It finishes at 3 hours. So after that only it will go to mission 2. So this 3 will come here. So this 3. So when does it come out from mission 2? It works in mission 2 for 4 hours. So that has to be added. So it comes out at 7 hours. So now we have to check whether this is minimum or this is minimum. Which is maximum. We have to check out for maximum and take and write here. Out of these two, which is maximum, we have to check. But here both are same. So it's 7 we have to write. So next is 7 plus 5, which will be 12. Then we have to check for this and this. Which is maximum? 14 is maximum. So that 14 we have to write here. Then plus this 3. So what we will get? 17. Yes. So after that we have to check to take the time in for job F, whether this is minimum or a maximum or this is maximum. Which is maximum? 22 is maximum. So the 22 we have to write. Then plus this 4. So we get 26 here. So now this 26 is maximum or 30 is maximum. Which is maximum? 30. So the 30 we have to write here. Plus the processing time for this mission is 3. So it comes out at 33. So now we have to check whether 33 is maximum or 37 is maximum. Obviously 37 is maximum. So we have to write 37 here. Plus the processing time 2. So it will be 39 when it comes out. So now 39 is maximum or 46 is maximum. Obviously 46 is maximum. So that we have to write. Plus it works here for 1 hour. So plus 1. So it comes out at 47th hour. So this is how we have to calculate. In a similar way, I have taken and written the processing times of mission 3. This one according to the order of these jobs. So for A it is 6. So I have written 6 here. For D it is 11. So I have written 11 here. For my convenience I have written this. Okay, now let us do in the same way. Now in mission 3, job A will enter at this time. When it comes out from mission 2, 7th hour it comes out. So 7 it will enter. And how long it works in mission 3? It works for 6 hours. So add it. So it comes out in from mission 3 in 13 hours. Now you have to check whether 13 is maximum or 12 is maximum. Out of these two, which is maximum? 13 is maximum. So the 13 only you have to write here. So job D enters mission 3 at 13 hours plus this processing time. So 11 you have to add. So it comes out at 24. Now again you have to check in the same way whether 24 is greater or 17 is greater. Which is greater? 24 is greater. So job G enters mission 3 at 24th hour. So like this you have to do. Then this plus the processing time 12. So 24 plus 12, which is 36. So it comes out, job G comes out at 36. Now when will F enter? We have to check. It comes out at 26th hour. But when is G is finishing and going? At 36th hour only it is finishing and going. So it can enter only during this hour. Or else simply you remember, you have to choose the maximum of this value or this value. Which is maximum out of these two? 36 is maximum. So 36 you have to write here. So 36, it works here for 6 hours. So 36 plus 6, so it will be 42. So it comes out at 42 now. Now whether 42 is greater or 33, which is maximum? 42 is maximum. So write that 42 over here. So now it works here for 7 hours. So add that with 42. So you get 49 here. So it comes out at 49. Now whether 49 is greater or 39 is greater? 49 is only maximum. So C will enter at the 49th hour. So 49 you have to write here. Plus this 2 you have to do. So it will be 50. So now whether 50 is maximum or 47 is maximum, you have to check out. Obviously. And one more thing, students. Here it is not 2. I have written it wrongly. Here it is 5. For C it is 5. So when we have to add 5 with 49. So when we add 5 with 49, we get this to be 54. Right, so 54. So whether 54 is maximum or 47 is maximum, obviously 54. So that we have to write here. So 54. Now 54 plus 5, which is 59. So this will give us the total elapsed time. So this is total elapsed time. So I hope you would have understood how to prepare this table. Now let us take and write everything. So the first thing that we have to write is the minimum total elapsed time. So I have taken and written here, and this is the answer. So the total elapsed time is 59 hours. Now what is remaining? We have to find the ideal time of mission 1, mission 2 and mission 3. I will simply tell you a small trick which I have not told in my previous video. There is an easy method to find the ideal time of each mission. So let me tell you that now. So simply what you do, you take the question. Now what are these? These are the processing times of each mission. So what you do, you find the processing time for each mission separately. That is, the total processing time for mission 1 is 3 plus 8 plus 7 plus 4 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7, which is simply 46. So that you make a note of it. Now next is processing time for mission 2 you find out. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3, which is 22. So you make a note of that also. So the processing time for mission 3, you make a total of all this. So this you get it to be 52. You just make a note of it. Now the formula what I am saying, just very simple. You remember that. So what you do, first I will tell you for mission A. So ideal time for mission A is equal to the total elapsed time minus the processing time for mission A. Similarly, the ideal time for mission 2 is equal to the total elapsed time, this value, minus the total processing time for mission 2. You subtract, you will definitely get the ideal time. Similarly, the ideal time for mission 3 will be equal to the total elapsed time minus the total processing time of mission 3. So if you do that, you will get the ideal time for mission 3 also. So for mission 1, I have written total elapsed time minus processing time of mission 1, which is equal to, what is the total elapsed time? It is 59. So 59 minus, what is the processing time of mission 1? We got here 46 was the total processing time. So 59 minus 46 we have to do. And that is equal to 13 hours. So this is the ideal time for mission 1. So similarly, so ideal time for mission 2 is equal to total elapsed time minus processing time of mission 2. So that is equal to, total elapsed time is 59 minus, what is the processing time, total processing time of mission 2? It is 22. So this 22 we have to substitute here. And if you see, 59 minus 22 is simply 37. So that is the ideal time for mission 2. So if you do it in the other way by calculating adding this and subtracting, 14 minus 12 is 2, and then 22 minus 17, there is a method. So if you do in that way also, you will get the same only. So like this also you can easily solve it. So next is ideal time for mission 3. So that is equal to total ideal time for mission 3 is equal to total elapsed time, which is 59, minus the processing time for mission 3. So what is the total processing time for mission 3 we got? We got it to be 52, this total. So that one we will take and write. So 59 minus 52, which is 7 hours. So this is the ideal time for mission 3. So we have got the total elapsed time, and then the ideal time for mission 1, mission 2 and mission 3. So this is how you have to solve the problem. And calculation of this table, patiently you go through, you will understand it for sure. And these columns I have written for my reference. You can every time refer from the table like this, or like this directly, and you can solve the problem. This values I have taken and written here for my convenience, okay, which I have not done in my previous video lectures. So kindly go through it patiently. Surely you will understand. Thank you.